Hello and welcome to Build a Skill with me, Bill Haining. In this session we're going to look at paragraphs. So what is a paragraph? Well, a paragraph is a distinct section of writing that deals with a single idea or theme. It includes multiple sentences that are related to each other and working together to develop a central point. And you'll get some examples of this as we go through the session. Now, each paragraph usually starts with a topic sentence that introduces the main idea, followed by supporting sentences, and often concludes with a closing sentence that reinforces the main point or provides a transition to the next paragraph. In other words, a connecting word. In essence, paragraphs are building blocks of written text, organizing information in a clear and structured way. Now let's take a sentence and build a paragraph. So before you can do that, I would study the session on sentences and sentence structure, and that will give you a clear indication of what sentences are, and then we can build on it. In the quiet town of Willowbrook, Lucy grew up amidst the lush meadows and whispering pines. Now you can see there's the initial assessment highlighted in green here, and now we're going to create a paragraph by adding information to that first sentence because it's the topic sentence, and so we can expand on that first question. So her childhood days were filled with chasing butterflies and building forts by the creek. Every summer her family gathered for picnics under the old oak, laughter echoing throughout the air, leaving indelible memories. So you can see there how you start off with your topic subject or your topic sentence, and you can build on that. And you can see there's roughly about 50-ish words there, and that's all you need for every paragraph you work with at level 2. Alright, that is a nice cool paragraph size. It's easier to manage, easier to work with. Now let's change the topic and add a new paragraph. This is often the part where a lot of learners think, well, I don't know when to change the paragraph. Well, it's fairly simple. When you change the topic of the theme, because remember it's all in the same theme, when you change the topic, that's when you change the paragraph. Again, we're going on to the next paragraph. Let's introduce our topic sentence. And you can now see that the topic has changed. So as Lucy grew older, her curiosity led her beyond Willowbrook's confines. And now we're going to add to that sentence to create another paragraph. So again, you can see we've added information to it. We've kept it a nice short paragraph giving good clear information. So she immersed herself in books, unlocking worlds of imagination and knowledge. Her passion for storytelling blossomed, penning tales of adventure and love late into the night. Each word she wrote carried pieces of her soul, weaving dreams into reality. A great short paragraph. And with these short paragraphs, it will keep your reader, because remember, you're writing for someone to read. All right, so nice short paragraphs will engage the reader better than long-winded paragraphs. Now let's change the topic again and start a new paragraph. So you can see there's your introductory topic sentence, okay, and you've built on it. Nice short paragraph again. So life's journey took Lucy on the bustling cities and quiet retreats, each place imprinting its unique mark on her spirit. She found solace in the embrace of new friendships and the wisdom of mentors who nurtured her aspirations. Through triumphs and trials, she forged resilience, embracing change with unwavering grace. Okay, let's change the topic again, because remember this is all about Lucy's life story, all right? And we want to give a complete breakdown and a brief breakdown of her life. Okay, so let's change the topic again and start a new paragraph, and hopefully you will get an idea of how paragraphs work. Remember, you're just telling a story, So it needs to have a beginning, a middle. So you can see the topic sentence introduces a paragraph again. Okay. In the gentle embrace of love, Lucy found a soulmate who mirrored her dreams and aspirations. Together they danced through life's joys and sorrows, their bond growing stronger with each passing season. Amidst sunsets and starlit skies, they built a sanctuary of love and understanding, a haven for their hearts. Now, remember you're telling a story, okay? So every story has a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So let's think about that ending. Let's think about the summary and start a new paragraph. Okay, let's show how we can sum up Lucy's life. So you can see your summary is really you're just reflecting back on the last 4 paragraphs and reflecting on her life basically. So as years passed, Lucy returned to Willowbrook where it all began. Surrounded by familiar faces and the serenity of nature, she discovered that home was not just a place but a tapestry of memories, laughter and love. In the heart of Willowbrook, Lucy's story continues, a testament to life's endless possibilities. Okay, so that's how you can sum up something. You just go back over and reflect on what you've already written. So that's your summary. So hopefully over the last 5 paragraphs, you can see how we've taken a simple sentence or a set of sentences and we've built on these sentences and we've told a story. So it doesn't matter whether it's a story like this of someone's life or if it's a business letter or if it's a magazine article, and you'll see some examples, you tell your story. It must always have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So you can see here if you put all the 5 paragraphs together, okay, and you separate them with a space, you have some nice shorter paragraphs. Doesn't take your reader long to read because you have to remember you're writing for someone else to read. So you have to make it as easier for them to read as possible. And short paragraphs are a great feature to use. All right, it's snippets rather than doing a lot of waffle or adding information that you don't need to add. Okay, so remember that going forward. So how can we make this Lucy's story more interesting for your reader? Okay, well, we can add features to the text that will help your reader follow the flow and find information a bit quicker because every one of us can write text after text after text. And if you write in that manner without paragraphs or without breaks, your work can become very, very quickly very, very boring. All right, so we can add features to make Lucy's story just that little bit more interesting. So let's have a look. So now you can see some of the things we've added, and hopefully you'll agree, you can see now you can find information more clearly. Because if this was a reading exam, for example, and this was one of the examples they've given you, they may ask you certain questions about this, okay? And by giving them certain features, it makes it easier. Now, one of the first features you can see is give it a title. Always give your work, wherever possible, a title. Tell your audience what it means. Not only that, tell your audience who you are, because if you do a lot of work, your name might become recognized as producing some good quality stuff, and then people can follow you, they can Google you, they can do whatever they want to follow you. Now, another thing you can do, you can see here, is you can add subheadings. They could be bold, they could be in italics, they can be underlined, just like here. And again, that introduces the paragraph. All right, and then when you get into your paragraph, your topic question will introduce what's going to be said, just like we've seen. Okay. Now, again, you can see there you're adding italics. All right, you're making something a wee bit more important by adding a little feature to help your work seem more interesting. The other thing you can add is you can see, I've already explained, you can have nice short paragraphs. keep your paragraphs nice and short. That way you don't have to add waffle or extend it out or try and make up your numbers. Most documents you're asked to produce at level 1 and level 2, if you keep them about 5 paragraphs of about 50 words, that will minimize the amount of work or input you have to do. It'll keep it down to a quality standard rather than too much quantity. All right, so 50 words per paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, and if you can reproduce that for most documents, you will do good. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now let's look at some other documents you may be asked to create in your exam. One of the first documents you may be asked to produce is a letter. All right, so look at the layout of this letter. This will help you. When you're asked to produce a letter, this is how it should be laid out. All right, and so you can see there's certain features in that. Your address, a phone number, etc. is all on the right hand side. Okay, you don't need a logo or you don't need your name up the top there because you've got your name down the bottom. Okay, but everything is down the left hand side with a space between it, apart from the subject line. The subject line sits on top of the first paragraph. The idea of the subject line is so that when the reader opens the letter, they can see quickly what the letter is about, and if it's important letter, they will read it and go through it. If it's just spam, they could throw it in the bin. Okay. Now associated with this is a quiz on a formal letter. You will find that in the comments section below this video. A magazine article, again, everything down the left hand side, nice short paragraph, space between it. These are all the features that will help gain you the best possible marks in the exam. Now remember, give it a title, your name underneath, don't be afraid to say who you are, okay? And you can see every paragraph has a subheading, it's underlined, and look how neat and precise it is. Now again, if this was an example given in a reading exam, you could locate information fairly quickly because of these headings. All right, there's another one. Is it fair? That's a rhetorical question. Okay, that's a language technique you can use, and we'll cover that when we do the text session. Okay, let's look at a report. Again, just like before, all down the left hand side, space between your nice short paragraphs, and you can see the changing topics as you go through it. All right, there's your summary and conclusion. You've named it. All right, when you're dealing with a report, sometimes people get a report mixed up with a magazine article. A report is about a given situation and it's all about facts. Okay, so you have to include a lot of facts within your report. All right, let people know what it's about, why you're doing it. All right, and come to some sort of conclusion, make recommendations if you have to, but don't get a report mixed up with a magazine article. Again, you may be asked to do an email, okay, but emphasize, look how it's laid out. It's just the same. All documents should be laid out like this, all right, and we have a space between it, okay. So that's how you do it. There's your features, your heading, subject, who it's to, John, all right, who it's from at the bottom there, kind regards. Now, when you're dealing with an email, all right, you should only answer 2 things at the end of an email when you're signing off. All right, it's either kind regards if it's someone you know, or it's just regards if it's a business letter or someone you don't know. Okay, and that's the main thing. But again, you can see how it's laid out. It's like all other documents. Yeah, again, here's a narrative. You may be asked to write something like a witness statement. Pedestrians and cyclist accident in this case, and you can see you just put the date. These are the features: date, time, location, where it happened, and again, just lay it down. Nice short paragraphs, 5 or 6 nice short paragraphs, keeping it succinct and keeping it to the facts. Okay, and usually a witness statement will have a lot of facts in it: what you've seen, who was there, who caused the accident, that sort of thing. All right, so keep that in mind. And by having these nice short paragraphs, again, emphasize you don't need to waffle. You're putting just down enough information, okay, which is of good quality and a good standard. Another document you may be asked to, which is quite common in your exam, is asked to do a blog. And a blog is similar to a magazine article. You're telling a story, okay? And you can see there you've got your title, Now you could put your name next to it depending on the topic. If it's really informal, you could say use your informal name or just your first name. If it's more formal, then you just put your full title down, okay? But you can see blogs are generally a bit more relaxed than magazine articles, and you can use a more relaxed language, okay? And this one's about choosing a right workplace and stuff. And again, you can see there with the subheadings, you're changing the topic, all right? And that's when you change your paragraph, when you change the topic. And just like telling your story, it's got a conclusion, all right? It's summing up. So you're telling your story, okay? And that's the same with most documents, all right? And again, you've got a layout and features quiz, all right? That'll be found in the comments section below. So have a go. And that is Paragraphs Build a Skill with me, Bill Henning. Thank you very much, and good luck.